Okay, clipboard. WelshRugby.tv welcomes you to the Vale of Glamorgan Hotel for the Six Nations squad announcement by Warren Gatland. It's a momentous occasion for WelshRugby.tv. First time we've been at a press conference ahead of the Six Nations, and we're very excited. So what I want to do is get in there and see who we can find and see what's occurring. Press conference down this way.
Probably a position at the moment that we've got a couple of key players that are injured. Gareth, who's been part of the squad, hasn't been selected as a first choice for the Blues. So it is a little bit of a concern for us in that scrum half position.
Maybe in the short to play loose set on the weekend. Do you see it as a take every loose set in your plans?
Well, there's plenty of loose heads around at the moment. If I was a player who had the potential to play tight head, that's what I'd be doing, because you command twice the salary that a loose head does. So my advice to him would be, we know he can play both sides, and he did move to the tight head later in the game, and he has played a lot of rugby there, and it does give us the options of having someone who can cover both positions.
So WelshRugby.tv are standing in line, waiting for an opportunity to have a chat with the man himself, Warren Gatland. Fact: what's the best-selling grog ever in history? Of who? Ginger Monster, Jinks, Neil Jenkins. And he still, as you probably see on TV coverage, he runs on a pitch now and again, and he's bringing the water on. Yeah. So it's still hugely involved in Welsh rugby. Let's go and find him. As a Welsh rugby supporter, I gain great pleasure in seeing you go on the field these days. It's fantastic to see you.
Well, I don't know about that. You might. I don't. That's for sure. No, it's just part and parcel of the game, and I'm quite happy doing it. I've got no problem doing it, and it's quite enjoyable on occasions.
Decision making and decision taking in rugby is crucial, and I can imagine having you on that field helps. Is this squad a list of decision takers and decision makers?
Yeah, all players are decision makers, and obviously you've got your key ones in terms of your halfbacks, your 8, 9 and 10. 15 is pretty important as well from an attack and a defensive point of view, but wingers as well. But the game changes so much, that everyone's looking for space, everyone's looking for the opportunities to create that one-man overlap or whatever it is, or in terms of kicking as well. There's a lot of kick to regains in today's game, where there's space in behind, where there's space out wide on the kick, and there's lots of. I think that anyone who goes on a pitch today is not a decision maker. Is probably not playing at the top end, and from 1 to 15, these guys pretty much have decisions to make, and hopefully we like to think that they make them on the spur of the moment.
Well, I'm going to put the champagne on ice. I can see Alan Phillips over there, former Wales and Cardiff hooker. Let's go and have a chat with him about his memories of Wales-England at Twickenham. Did you win in Twickenham?
No, I was in the game where Ringer got sent off and lost 9-8. Missed 7 kicks a goal that day. We scored 2 tries today, 3 penalties. It was a tough old game. It was one of the dirtiest games of rugby we ever played in. We went right for about 2 or 3 weeks after that.
Well, physically? Physically,
yeah, it was huge. Silly, really, at the time. But,
so that was through rucking and...
rucking, punching, butting, biting. Everything went on that day. I don't think anything didn't go on that day, to be honest.
And did he deserve to be sent off?
Not that day. He could have got sent off in any of the games before that, because he didn't muck about, did Paul.
Sorry? Are you Warren Gatland?
Am I Warren Gatland?
Yeah.
No, I'm his brother.
Oh, you'll do.
No,
you'll do.
I'm sorry.
The Welsh Club are notorious about high expectations of you and your team.
I think it's right to have high expectations. I think that.
But as a country, as a nation, as people, we tend to delve deep into deep depressions after half an hour of rugby.
Yeah. Well, I've been often described as ecstasy and tragedy, and that's the ecstasy is fantastic. But if you haven't got that, then we want the tragedy of feeling sorry for ourselves and losing. And sometimes same with the players is that they love the underdog tag, the criticism, so they can respond to that. And I think for us as a nation, and as much as a team, we've got to be I know Welsh people are very proud, but accept sometimes that let's go into games and be favourites. Let's talk about winning. Let's talk about that expectation.
Doesn't sit easy.
No, it doesn't.
I'm sweating already.
Yeah, it doesn't sit easy, but I think that's important for that development of the game.
Yeah.
Right. So Warren Gatland talking about not being underdogs, dealing with stepping up to the mark, dealing with the favourites tag. Makes us feel uncomfortable as Welsh. Okay. Got a good idea. Let's go look for that guy we found earlier and test it out, yeah? Okay. He's around here somewhere. Can I just have one quick word?
Yeah, go on.
Since you're all kitted out. Are you going somewhere?
We're going to the gym.
All right, okay. Rugby, Six Nations, been an announcement today. Is there any special way which you prepare to deal with the disappointment of losing, in particular to Wales?
Yeah, I come back here, have a few more beers, and wear this everywhere I go because we're proud.
Yeah.
Simple, really. But you know, that's slightly optimistic at this stage, isn't it? I'm from Northampton, and we've got a lot of lads in the England squad this year as well. So, and your boys aren't doing so well in the last few years.
My palms are sweating already. Hang on, what did he say? He said, stick your shoulders back. So, no, but we're not underdogs. You were the underdogs this year.
Yeah. Well,
you are the underdogs.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We've not had it as good. But when was the last time you guys won the World Cup?
We came third in 1987.
Yeah, okay. It was a long time ago.
It was, yeah. Nice one.
February the 6th, isn't it?
February the 6th, Twickenham. Yeah.
Oh, it's a big game. Big game. Imagine you losing that.
You're back to it again. Warren, he's done it to me. You can't have the final word. The mind games that you play sometimes, especially for New Zealand with the press and their team, are fascinating. Did you get any ribbing when you got back to New Zealand?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's not always about trying to play mind games. It's I don't know how to be any different sometimes. Is that when I'm asked a question that I give my opinion and sometimes it's only my opinion or I give an answer where I'm telling the truth and sometimes it ends up as being headlines, and it's not always about trying to wind people up or create controversy or always have about mind games. So I see sometimes there's a value in that. Perhaps in the future that I might become just a little bit less controversial and stick to more traditional answers.
No, please don't. It's an indictment of before Graham Henry and yourself came to Wales, Welsh coaches were notoriously boring in the interviews they gave and the statements they made. You could write the same thing before each game and there wouldn't be any difference.
Yeah, but in saying that, it also you've got to be prepared to accept the criticism. I'll give you an example. I was asked to did an interview where I was asked, as a Kiwi, did I have ambitions of coaching the All Blacks? And it was a time when the All Blacks hadn't played that well. And my response was, it was something that wasn't in the short-term plan, but it'd be an honour someday, maybe in the future, to coach the All Blacks. But at the moment, I was glad that I wasn't coaching the All Blacks because the pressure the All Blacks coaches were under. But the unfortunate headline was Gatland glad not to be coaching the All Blacks. So when that's a headline back in New Zealand, I'm getting mates ring me up saying, what are you saying? And it's a debate on New Zealand radio, sport, and people saying, who the hell does Gatland think he is, saying that he doesn't want to coach the All Blacks. So the whole thing was taken out of context. So you just got to be very mindful and careful sometimes what you say. And if you get genuine reporters who want to report the context of things, that's no problem. The unfortunate thing sometimes that we have, we're almost a little bit tabloidy where people are looking for headlines or controversy, and that's, I suppose that's part of modern sport in today's environment.
So there we are, WelshRugby.tv at the Vale of Glamorgan Hotel. Warren Gatland's squad for the 2010 Six Nations tournament is announced. So we've had a chat with Jinks, we've had a chat with Warren, we've had a chat with Alan Phillips, we had a chat with a very amenable English rugby supporter. If you want to subscribe to the site, all the interviews in the entire duration are on the site. They're worth listening to, worth watching. So for the meantime, cheers, boys. Taxi.